here's the thing. Losing a poker is supposed to hurt. In this video, you're going to learn why it hurts, but more importantly, what to do about it, which most players get wrong. Now, today's video was inspired by a call I had with one of my coaching clients yesterday. He's an MTT player, and he was playing his big Sunday grinding session. He ran deep in one of the tournaments, and he was getting excited about the potential payouts. Now, we hadn't had great results over previous months, so he had a bit of financial pressure coming in, but he had this one tournament where he's got a big stack, and he gets into a big spot on the river, and he ends up in a flipping scenario to take the huge chip lead. Final 40 of a tournament, and there's 15 grand up top. And he loses this flip. Big all in, coin flip scenario, 50-50, and he's out. Game over, done. And he said to me, I couldn't accept this. It felt so unfair. I tried to reframe it and tell myself it wasn't in my control, but it didn't work. Now here's the thing. It's supposed to hurt. When you lose a big all-in like that, you put time in, you put energy in, it's cost you a lot of money or potential win opportunities. It's not supposed to feel nice. It's supposed to sting a bit. It's supposed to be like, that hurt. All right, if you really care about your poker results, your poker career, it's normal for it to hurt. Now, what most players did wrong, what this player did wrong, is they basically say, I don't accept losing. All right, so he says, I couldn't accept it. What does that mean? What it really means is I wouldn't allow myself to acknowledge that I've lost and to experience the pain of what just happened. All right, so let's think about it. He's already lost the hand. He's out of the tournament. If he says he doesn't accept it, you're basically saying, I deny reality and I don't allow myself to experience everything that's coming with it. Now, when you do that, when you don't accept things, what happens is you retreat from feeling something and you go straight to the mind. All right, you deny how you're feeling and you go right to the mind. Now, the mind will often tell stories. This is unfair. Why is this happening to me? And it will try to comfort you in some way or justify why this shouldn't be happening. All right, you tell yourself the big story narrative. Now, when you don't accept an event that's happened, you do one of three things. You suppress, you push down the emotion, you deny, you just go, this isn't happening, you go to the mind and tell stories or live in a different reality, or you avoid. You distract yourself, or you, again, go to the mind to avoid having to feel the emotion. All of these things are a denial of reality, and they make losing 10 times worse. So what should you do instead? Well, here's the advice I give to my coaching clients. Use this next time you're in a big pot that you lose. I'm sure that won't be too long into the future, and give this a try. All right, so step one is to acknowledge what's happened. All right, so he's lost a big all in. You need to acknowledge, just lost an all in. Damn, I was getting excited about this tournament. It sucks. This sucks. Don't like this. Then you've got to go to step two, which is feel the emotion. All right, when you're experiencing something, you've got to acknowledge how it's feeling in the body. All right, so introspect, go into the body. How does it feel? All right, you'll be like, I feel a bit frustrated. I feel disappointed. I feel angry. I feel annoyed. I feel tension in the body. I feel, not nice. I don't like this. All right, just be with it. Be with that emotion. All right, most players really struggle with this part, but feel it. Just fully feel it. Fully feel being disappointed. Your expectations didn't get met. You just lost money or potential win opportunities. All right, then step three is to stay with the emotion. This is the hard part, because as soon as you're feeling the emotion, you start going, I don't like this, and you start going to the mind, labeling, unfair, why me? All these victim mentalities that try to get you away from just being with the emotion. All right, so just be with the emotion, stay with it. Watch the mind try to come up with stories. Watch the mind try to come up with different narratives to distract you. Just be with it. Just be with the emotion. And the final step is to breathe and to let go. All right, very often when we're struggling with emotions, we forget to breathe. We almost get stuck, like really shallow breathing, and we're stuck like tight tension in the chest. By just taking a deep breath in and then a slow exhale, or you're mindfully feeling the emotion. So you're like, feel frustrated, it hurts, disappointed in myself, disappointed in the tournament. Feel it, just breathe. Just allow yourself to breathe it and let go. All right, and that is it. That's all you need to do. All right, you just need to do that. Now, this seems like it's just a simple process, but honestly, if you can learn to do that, those simple steps to acknowledge what you're feeling, acknowledge the experience, feel the emotion, stay with it, and just breathe through it, you'll be amazed how quick the emotion fades away. That's all you need to do. The emotion's just the reaction to the experience that you're having, and all you need to do with an emotion is be with it. And honestly, you don't need to be with it that long. It's not like I'm talking about be with it for hours. Just be with the emotion in the moment for a minute, for a few seconds. Just be with that emotion. Don't escape the mind. If you can do that, you'll realize still hurts a bit, still stings a little, still doesn't feel overly nice. But guess what? Now you're not holding on this big heavy baggage. Now you're not suppressing this emotion. Now the rest of your day isn't ruminating about that all-in that you just lost. You're not carrying this heavy baggage because you've allowed the emotion to play out. That's all emotions are. Energy and motion that are trying to express themselves. And then life becomes this amazing game of watching where you try to close. You close off feeling and you try to go to mind, and trying to open. Trying to allow yourself to experience more and more emotions. The way to look at it is most players think they need to become more robotic and experience less. In reality, they need to experience more. They need to be comfortable experiencing more. So that the final state of acceptance is I'm okay with the feelings and the experience that I'm having. I'm okay with the feelings and experience I'm having. Most people think acceptance is the mind saying I'm okay with it. It's not the mind. Acceptance comes from the feeling. I'm okay. If you can be with the emotion without freaking out, you realize over time, rather than having a narrow range of emotions, which most people have a narrow range, happiness, joy, heightened emotions, that they feel good, then all the other ones, boredom, disappointment, frustration, they don't like. So when they're in these outer ranges, they go to the mind. They don't allow themselves to experience those emotions. So as a result, their experience of life becomes very numb. They suppress the negative emotions, but they also suppress the positive emotions. It's a double-ended sword. So they go through life, they're not experiencing the highs and lows of life because they're scared to go to the places where it hurts. All right, so you've got to allow yourself to be with a wider and wider range of emotions. And that's the key. That's like emotional regulation. It's the skill of widening your emotions. And also stress mastery is another skill I teach, where you, under high pressure and high stress, you realize that the body's responding and you're sitting with it. You're being okay with it and being able to experience and perform at a high level under more and more conditions. Now, this concept got hammered home to me when I read The Untethered Soul, which is one of my favorite books. Read it many, many times. And he talks about using life as your teacher. So for you as a poker player, watch when you try to close, watch when you can't handle stuff, and watch what you do. All right, what you do is you close the heart off, close the feeling part off, and you retreat to the mind. All right, and the goal is just to free yourself bit by bit to every experience that you close off. Watch yourself closing, go back into the feeling, allow yourself to feel it, and you'll be amazed how much you just unlock. You unlock the experience, but also the emotion fades away, the intensity. Sometimes it burns. Burns is a good sign, actually. Sometimes it feels really hot, like, oh, I don't want it to be there. Just be with it. Be with it, and soon it starts to fade. And you're freeing yourself bit by bit, bit by bit. All right, acknowledge some emotions feel a little bit, tough to deal with, but that's the whole game, right? Experiencing more and more emotions. And as you go for your pro career, over time, hopefully you can deal with more and more of them. All right, so if you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, make sure you give it a like button, share this video with any friends who may be struggling with losing. I know most players try to rationalize why they shouldn't have to experience this, when in reality it's like, just be with it, acknowledge losing a poker is supposed to hurt sometimes, and be okay with that. Be okay with the hurt, be okay with the frustration, and move on. All right guys, hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be plenty more coming from me very soon.